So yesterday we created some project. Okay. Created a project folder. Then we created this Hello World demo as a project. So we have created using the command prompt. So we have created Hello World demo yesterday using the command prompt. And we have seen how we can create a project or basically a .NET project we created. So we have seen how to create a .NET project using the command prompt. Okay, steps. I've noted the steps for creating an ASP.NET Core MVC project model view controller. Okay, I also shown you that how to create this from Visual Studio. Okay, if you go to the Visual Studio 22, you can download this Visual Studio and you can create an application from here as well. Okay, go to new project, then you can select, like here we have created an ASP.NET Core. So if you search for ASP .NET here, you can see ASP.NET Model View Controller project. You can select, you can click on next. It will ask some details, your project name, path at where you have to create this project, and then solution name. What is the solution file name you can give? You will give and click on next. It will create a project for you. That's simple. Okay. If you want to create from the console, you have to go through all these commands. Yesterday we have seen. Now, since we have created the project, now yesterday I explained you that how we can work with the version control. So if you see, we have discussed yesterday this thing, like developer is working on some working copy, writing some source code. Okay. Then again next day is working on the same copy, writing some source code. But say they both of the developers are working on some module, and they should be on the same page. Like there's a payment module. Okay, so inside the payment module there will be different features like credit card, debit card, UPI, pay later, all these things. So whatever the code they are writing, like developer one also is working on one feature, developer two is working on another feature. At some or the other point, they have to be on the same page. Okay, they should know what the other person is doing for that feature to be developed. Okay, so similar kind of features may be developing sometime. Like for credit card, you need a 16-digit number, a CVV number, and expiry date. Similarly, for debit card also, you need 16-digit number or a CVV and an expiry date. Okay, so while developing these features, maybe some of the features which are developing in credit or debit card, they must be same some. So they need some collaboration. So that's why they need version control. So each one of them may have a copy of that repository, so that whenever they want, they can pull the code, they can see like other person is on what pace or at the same page they are working on. Okay, so it's like that. So that's why we need version control. Now I also told you version control of two types: centralized, distributed. When we talk about centralized, I told you that you can create a project using centralized version control. And what is centralized? Like for example, TFVC, so team foundation version control. In Azure repos, it is nothing but the implementation of TFS, team foundation server. Okay, and other one is Git, that is distributed. So Azure repos is implementation of Git. So that there were two version controls. Now I told you that since we are using distributed, so in the distributed one, it's like this. Like there is a central repository, then you are pulling that repository to your local. So you'll get a copy of that central repository here in your local, and then you will be working on that copy, working copy. So it will work like that. And here you don't need a constant connection to the central repository. Once you are done with your local repository, you can push the code to the central repository. So that is a distributed version control. Now here, when we talk about version control, what we have to do? First thing, since we are working on Git, so we downloaded Git. I told you where to download the Git. So you can go here, you can search for Git. Git SCM, source code management. Here you can download. Go to the download section. You can download for Windows, Mac OS, Linux, whatever you want. Latest source release 242, 2.42.1. That is the latest release. You can download. Okay. Once you download this, like you download it for Windows, you will get some files here. Like first thing is Git GUI. That will be a graphical user interface. Second is Git Bash, and one is Git CMD also you will get. Okay. So Git GUI is graphical user interface. Okay, like this. You can create new repository. You can clone an existing repository, open existing repository, like this. As of now, we don't have any repo, nor in the local, nor in the remote. Okay, so you cannot see anything here. You have to create first. So if you want to use GUI, you can use. Most of the times we are using Git Bash either. So this is a Git Bash. Or we are using Git Bash, or we are using this console command prompt. So if you search here for like Git hyphen version, I already installed Git version. So when you install the Git in the environment variable, if you search for the environment variable, a path is added over here in the environment variable. If you go to the path and if you edit that here, can you see C program files git cmd is added, C program files git bin git.exe. Okay. These paths will be added in the environment variable after installation. Okay.
Difference between this console and Git Bash, Abhishek? So,
see, Git Bash is SSH, okay, secured shell that works on Linux command. So each and every nowadays, what happens? Whosoever are the service providers, they are providing their own services. Like if you are working with Azure, so you can work with Azure portal as well. Otherwise, Azure will provide you Azure CLI, command line interface. Okay. Azure will provide you command line interface. So you can download that Azure CLI and you can work with Azure CLI using commands. To go to the images section, this is how something like command line, Azure command line interface. You can download and you can use. So you can manage your portal, Azure portal, using CLI commands. Similarly, each and every like you can say provider like Git is providing you with the source code management tool. So Git also provides you, when you download this, Git provides you two things. First, I told you the graphical user interface. Second is Git Bash. This is nothing but the command line interface.
can we take this like one is Windows program and one is console program, right?
Yes. Okay. So it's like whatever you want to use, you can use.
Okay.
There's no restriction. Okay. So Git Bash they have provided you. Git CMD also they have provided you.
Okay.
Okay. All these programs they are providing you. Similarly, with each and every service, like don't if you are not using Azure, say you are using AWS. So
Okay.
AWS provides you Azure AWS CLI for Windows. This is AWS CLI.
Okay.
Okay, so each and every service provider is providing you some tools using which you can manage that environment.
Mm.
Okay, each and every service provider is providing that. GCP also provided some CLI tool.
So, first you said that Amazon this uses Linux, right? Git Bash.
Yeah, these will be using Linux commands only. If you
Oh,
use AWS CLI also, if you use Git CLI also, if you are using Azure CLI also, they will be running on all on the Linux shell only.
okay.
Okay, they are compatible with Linux shell. Nowadays, Git also compatible with the command prompt also in Windows, so you can run Git commands here also. Like if you don't install Git here, then it will not recognize what is Git. It will give you an error. Since now I have downloaded
And
and yeah, path is added to my
current,
environment variables.
mm,
So it is reading that what is Git and it is giving the version, Git version.
okay.
Okay. So using this, I have installed Git in my system. Now, second thing, once you install this Git, now what you have to do? Now, since we are working with the distributed system, first we will be creating some local Git repo. So if you want to, for starting with distributed version control, example Git, you need to start with local repo. So now how you will start with a local repo? So wherever you want to start with, directly what you can do, you can do a git init over there. Okay, so when we do a git init, means we are initializing a git repository, git local repository, initializing git local repository, local repo. Now when we are initializing git local repo, what happens? There will be three things. There will be three things. A git empty local repo will be created, and then there will be a file or folder will be created called .git. Now inside this .git, you will be having your local repository. So this .git is your local repo folder. It will be having all the configurations required by Git to function. So this will be your local Git folder. Okay, and this is a hidden folder. You cannot see that hidden folder. Of course, you can see that once you enable that from the properties that you should see the hidden files and all. Okay, so this is a hidden folder. So it will create a .git. Now, whatever the files are there, you have created. So let me open this. Visual Studio Code. Project open. If you can see, these many files are there for the project which are created, like program.cs. Okay, then dependencies are there, connected services, then inside properties you must have some file. Inside the WWE root you will be having some files. Okay, some library files, site.js. Okay, and then css file. Okay, all these things you will be having inside this. Now what you have to do, you have to push these files or add these files into local git repo first. So before that, what you have to do, you have to initialize. Before that you have to initialize, right? So this is my projects folder. Inside this I have created this project hello world demo. Inside this there is this one. Now if I go to hello world demo, is that console? Huh. Let's go to the hello world demo. Now I'll initialize the git repository here. So git init I'll do. What it is saying, initialized empty git repository in this dot git. Can you see this dot git folder? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
on
Yes, sir.
dot git, this git is nothing but the local repo. It's a local repo. Okay. If you see inside, there are different folders, hooks, info, objects, then configuration, description, all these things, there are files. As of now, this folder, if you like, its size is 25.6 GB, but its size gets on increasing once you pull the code or work in your local, you have a local repository. If there is a code, something in the GitHub, you are pulling that code, you are working on that. So its size will get increased every time. Okay. So this is your local repository. Now we have this and we have to push this hello world app and this solution file. Now when I'm talking about this, like we have initialized a git repo, but what happens after initializing this, git needs to track everything. As of now, if I run some command like git status, now no commits yet, I have not committed anything to the git, means whatever is there inside this, everything is untracked by the git, means git is not tracking all these things. So it is showing that use git add, then the file name, to include in what will be committed. Okay, so you can include whatever will be committed here. Now what you can do, sometimes when you create this repo, then you can create one more file here. See, git init dot git hidden folder is called as the local repository. Now add git ignore file. Now there is a file. When we initialize the repository, sometimes if you go to your this remote repository means GitHub. If you go to GitHub, let me show you GitHub. Uh, no. Or let it be. Let's have some GitHub world. .NET. Let's have a public repository. Let's see. Can you see this git ignore file?
Yes.
Yes. So whenever a project is created, like if you now create some new project, okay, here, new project or new repository. So it will ask you whether you want to create a git ignore file or not. Now in my local repository, it will not ask me to create a git ignore file. But since they have set the remote repository like that, every time you create a project, it will ask you. Now, similarly, like GitHub, we can see in our project as well. Okay, so we create a demo project, private. In the advanced section, see in the advanced section, you can select the version control, whatever you want. You can select team foundation version control also. You can select Git also. Work item process you can select. You can select basic, CMMI, Scrum, customize Scrum also you can create. Since we have created the customized Scrum with parts unlimited project, it is showing me customized Scrum also. So you can have customized Scrum as well. Or if you want Agile, you can select Agile. So whatever you want, you can select. Now this is my demo project. Now inside this demo project, if you go to the repos section. So in the repos section, what you are seeing here, initialize main branch means you will create a repository here, and see it is showing options. Import a repository, push an existing repository from the command line interface means if I have any repository in my local git repository like this .git, I can push it to my from my command line interface. Where I can push? I can push here in the remote repo. This Azure repo is nothing but the remote repo, similarly to GitHub. Now GitHub is enterprise. Okay, it's an external one. But Azure repo, since we are learning Azure DevOps, so mostly we'll be using Azure repo only. I'll tell you how to work with GitHub as well. Okay. But first thing we'll be learning here Azure repos. Okay. So it is giving you how to clone, means you can clone any repo from this to your local computer. So one option, clone to your local computer. This is the URL. Second is push an existing repo from local command line interface to this remote repo.
Abhishek, this particular entry, second one, push an existing, it automatically took, right? How did that happen? Did remote add origin? Ah, that one.
Yeah, see, this is command. This is
Right.
command. Okay, this is git command.
Hmm.
It is showing you that what you want to execute, which command for pushing an existing repo. So if you copy this one and you go here, for example, just here. So git remote add origin. Okay, now where to add? It is giving you that remote repository URL.
Your account submit a
Yes.
project.
Yes. So I just now created a demo project, right?
Right. Ah.
Yeah. So it generated one URL using which I can push my local code into the Git repo or Azure repo, you can say. So it is like Azure repo is doing what? It is guiding me how to push using these commands, how you can push the code into the Azure repo. And if you're cloning something, now when I'm saying cloning means I can, since this is a GitHub public repository, if I want to clone this demo code, how I can do? I can
Copy.
click on here, I can copy this and I can clone using command git clone. So if I copy this, I go to my terminal and I'll put a git clone. So it will clone this project to my local repo from this GitHub. That is cloning. Okay, either you can download a zip also of this project. So there are different ways. You can open this with git desktop also. Now what is git desktop? I told you git GUI is the git desktop. Okay, so if you click on this, like open with git desktop, GitHub desktop, it will open a GitHub in your desktop. If you're simply choosing this HTTPS URL, copy and clone, you can clone. Use git or checkout with SVN using web URL. Okay, so you can check out this repo. GitHub CLI. If you are using GitHub CLI, you can use gh repo clone, and this you can clone this repo. Otherwise, there is a simple command git clone. You can clone. Since as of now, we don't have any project in our Azure repos, we are just starting. So we'll be pushing the code first. Okay, so I was telling about when to start with, they have a git ignore file. Now, what is the work of this git ignore file? Git ignore file means a file. Please be in mute. So git ignore file, when I talk about git ignore file, dot git ignore. Now, there may be some files which you don't want Git to track those files. So if some files you want not to be tracked by Git, not to be tracked by Git, you can add those files in .git ignore. Very simple. So out of these files, if I don't want to add some files, like I don't want this controllers, to be added to the Git. It will not add. It will not add. Whatever files, say if I have written some note for myself, some text file, in there I have put something like some credentials. I don't want Git to track it. Otherwise, if it is tracked, what will happen? It will go to the central repo and everyone can see that. But if you don't want, you can add that file into git ignore and it will not be tracked then. So that is simple. Okay. So always you can add a git ignore.
But usually DLL files debug folder or that folders we add it here.
Yes, git ignore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever you want, you can add.
DLL, CXEs, these files are not required to push.
Not required, right? Okay. So where is that? So we were talking about all these files are untracked files. Now, third thing, when you are working on some file, there are three things. First thing is there are three things here.
Not to dragged by the gate
Means since say I initiated one local repo .git. Now there is some file here, but I don't want Git to track that file. Means how you will use the version control. So for using a one version control, you need Git to track all those files which are there in your project. Then only Git will maintain your version. If Git will not track those files, how it will maintain? Got it?
Can you open this Hello World app folder, Abhishek?
Which one? Hello World app. Yeah.
That one. In this, can you open this bin object kind of file
Yes.
folders? You can explain them like this. This also, debug also. Open that.
Mhm. So it's like that, like inside Hello World app, when first of all I initialized a Git repo inside Hello World demo. Now means a local Git is created, but this local Git is an empty one. Empty means it is not reading any file from the Hello World app. Means inside bin, whatever there's debug, release, whatever is there, it doesn't read that file as of now, because I have only initialized a initial Git repo with the command git in it. I have not added any files to the Git as of now. So in controllers also this home.controller, then
Once you open that file, Abhishek, git ignore.
As of now I didn't create it. Wait.
Oh, you did not create a.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So what you can do, you can add. Now, if you go here in the Visual Studio, there's an option to create file, new file.
You selected open, Abhishek.
Yeah,
New, not new.
New
Control M.
Now, Abhishek, one thing that initialization, what you were doing, right? So, is it like mandatory step or it's like optional?
So it's like that. Initialize. If you don't initialize, how a Git local will be created. Like initializing means starting a Git local repo.
Yes. So, but like if we want to, like if we are cloning, right? So by default, it gets created that hidden Git folder.
Then it is existing
See,
solution.
if I don't install Git and all, you will clone how the commands will work, Git commands. Later on, once they are, see, we are using distributed one. Okay, we are not using centralized. There's a difference between centralized and a distributed one.
Yes, yes, yeah, that is fine. What I'm
Mhm.
saying, see, Git installation is required, okay, in
Yes.
order to read what that Git means. That
Yes.
is fine. But that initialization you were saying, right? That init
Yes.
command.
Yes.
So that without that also means so far I have not used that one. And
Mhm.
like we clone, even if we want to push any new project. So
Mhm.
first thing is that we need to have a project in the Git, right? Means at least folder structure or folder name. Then
Mhm.
only we can put those files into the Git remote.
Mhm.
So in any of the case like init initialization, that init command I think that is optional. That is only I wanted to confirm because
Maybe.
I have never used so far. Like
Mhm. That is optional. But if I'm teaching you something, you should know each and everything then.
okay, yeah, that's what I was asking. Like, is
Yeah.
it mandatory or not? Because yeah, okay.
Okay. Later on, when you are learning something, you can skip things which are not necessary, but only when you know all each and everything about that. Okay, but in the initial phase, if someone is learning, I cannot tell all those things. Okay, that you can skip this, you can skip this, you can skip this. No. Okay, go through basic, whatever is there. So people who have worked it, that is fine, no worries. Okay, so you can see different types of files you are seeing here. Okay, JavaScript files, style sheet, XML, then schema, bitmap file, then code analysis, icon file, cursor file, SQL file, C hash, class file, editor config file, all these kind of files you have. Okay, I don't want this one. I just is that see. Can we
Like
not
you want to
rename from?
rename? You
Pardon?
want to rename this?
Yes, yes, yes. That's what I'm doing. Like,
Okay, okay.
okay, just I was
So
searching for this rename. Where it is?
uh, you can save and from you can save first. You can save. Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Okay.
Then you can write it. Yeah. You can write here in a file name.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
file name you can
Yes,
this.
yes, yes, yes. Mm, dot git ignore.
All files, I guess.
Oh, all files only we have saved.
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Now, whatever you will add, it will not get tracked. Here it must be created now. This is the dot git ignore file. Git ignore source file. Okay. So from here, whatever you don't want to be tracked, you can add inside the git ignore. Okay. So now when I was talking about these three things, so there are three things here. First one is working area. This is working area. This is staging area. And this is local repo. Now in this working area, all the files are in untracked state. Untracked means untracked by Git. Git does not know about the files. Okay, what are the files in the project as of now? So that will be your working area. Working means you are writing source code, you are doing everything, you are editing a file, you are doing whatever you are doing inside the project. That will be your working area. And in the working area, Git does not track your files. So that's why we are calling it a working area. Now, once your work is completed, like after completing the work, move it to stage. Now, staging area means now it will be tracked by Git. So once my work is completed, then only I'll ask Git to track it. So what I'll do, since I'm coming on first day, I'm working on some file in my working area. Now at the end of day, I'll be committing something or adding something. So what I'll do, I'll have a command git add and git add and whatever file I'm working in. Git add file name, whatever file I'm working in. So what it will do, it will add that file. It will add that file to the staging area. And once the file is added to the staging area, now Git knows about that file. So after adding to the staging area, now Git is aware about the file. Git is aware. File, or you can say files, whatever files. Now, once you have added that to the staging area of the Git, still there is one step left. Until and unless you will commit that code, means you are committing that whatever changes you made, you have to finally push it to the Git. So you are committing that. So for committing, there will be a command here like git commit. git commit. And this git commit will work -m. -m means some message. So when I'm committing something, I have to give some message here. You have to give some message. Just a minute. So you have to give some message. -m means message that you are doing a commit. So Git can track that, okay, whatever commit you have done with whatever message, it will take it. So once you write git commit -m and you should give some message, what it will do? It will do a commit. Commit means finally added to the Git repo. So finally added to Git local repo. So these are the three stages in a Git. Okay, working area, staging area, and the local repo. Once you are done with the local repo, what you can do? You can push that code to your remote repo. Now there will be a remote repo here. Okay, or I can do like this. Okay, now you will be having a remote repo here. Remote repo means your central server. This is your remote repo. For pushing to the remote repo, again you have to give some command like git remote add. Git remote add. Now after git remote add, there are different options where you want to add, to which branch you want to add. Okay, you can give all those options. Git remote add. If you want to add from the main repository, so I showed you this command here. Git remote add origin. So what it will do, it will add your whatever the files you will give, it will add to origin. Origin means where, to this URL, to this remote repo. And then after adding, what you will do? Git push. So similarly, what you are doing here, like first thing, here are untracked files. Then in the local repo, you are doing two things. First time you are adding, then you are committing. Similarly, when it comes to the remote repo, first you will add. So it will add to the remote repo. So here I'll write, say origin.
Sir, one question. This adding of remote repo is one time, right? Git remote add origin. This later when we want to push again, we can push to same repository.
See, there are two things. If you are working on some existing files, you can add and commit at the same step. But if you are creating some new file, then every time first you have to add and then you have to commit.
Okay, commit, I got it. But this one, remote repo, I'm saying. So you are adding this remote repo, right? There is,
This
I mean,
URL,
one.
this URL I need to add one time only.
Okay.
Okay.
Got
Yeah. So you will be adding this, and once you do this, finally there will be a command git push. Okay. So again, you will be having one command like git push. Git push. What you will be pushing? So you can give different options here, like git push u-u origin and all. All means whatever the files are there, it will push all the files. Means when I'm talking all means all these files, it will push. Okay, and whatever you will be adding in the .git ignore, it will not push that. Since it is not tracked by local git only, so it will not add those. So at the local git level, you will add the git ignore file. Okay, and you will keep it there only. If you don't want, you like it's not necessary to add git ignore file to the remote repo. Don't add it. Okay, create a git ignore, give some files inside that git ignore which you don't want to be tracked by local git, and it will be not tracked by the local git. Also, when you are pushing the code, it will not send the files to the remote repo also, since it is whatever is there inside the local git that will only be pushed by the local git to the remote repo.
Abhishek, I have one question here. You write like git commit -m dash m. So without dash m also we can commit. So what do you mean here? Like dash m?
Dash m means some message, just for my understanding. See, you are getting logs. Okay, now your team is working and your team is pushing some code to the main repo or feature branch or anywhere. Okay, but as a scrum master, say there is some mistake which is done and you want to see what all commits have been done by whom. And so without giving this commit message, how you will know what changes they have done? So they have some like I'm doing the commit first time. So I've written initial commit. So I've given some message. Okay, this is my initial commit.
Readability, it adds readability to the push or like comments in the code. It is similar to that.
Pardon?
It adds readability to the push. I mean, why that particular push has happened. Or in code, we usually start commenting, right? So
Right.
this step is for some, so and so. So it solves the purpose of readability, this message, in short.
Okay.
Yes, yes. So generally when we commit, so my dash m we are not adding. We are not adding.
Okay.
Yes, without m also we can give the message.
And then you
So-
are not without m also you can give the message, right?
Yes, sir. Without dash m.
Okay, okay. Directly like git commit and then
Commit and message. Yes, yes. Generally we can do this actually.
okay, okay.
Dash m
Actually,
I am not added.
yeah, okay. You are not adding, I don't know, but what are the you can say standard commands which are given by Git that I'm telling you. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I want to know like dash m why we adding here.
See, that's what, like while working, I can take many shortcuts, what I'm working upon. Okay.
Okay.
But if I am explaining something, then I have to go with one by one only step. I cannot say that, okay, ignore this one, don't do this one. Like I cannot tell that. Okay.
Okay, okay.
You are working with that, it is okay. But if someone is not working, then what? Okay. For understanding, just for understanding, if I remove this M, if I remove this M, someone
Mhm.
will not understand why I've written here initial commit.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, normally M will be
if
given
if at
in
the
the Git.
class, if at the class I told, okay, I've said that, okay, this initial commit just nothing but a message. But on the second time, when someone is working with this, they are seeing the nodes, who is new to the Git, they will not
Mhm.
understand again.
Yes, yes, yes.
So that's what I'm writing
Mhm.
this.
Okay.
Okay, this is standard.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So just go with the things which is standard. Like this is a good practice. Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Like someone said, we don't do Git in it in the local repo. Like, all these things are good practice. You have to go one by
Mhm.
one only.
Yes, yes, right.
Okay. So git commit -m initial commit. So after git push -u say and then origin. Now I may not choose to give -u also here. I can directly go give git push origin -all -all. Okay, but this is best practice, that's why. Now here in the terminal, now we have seen that all these files as of now are untracked, means git is not tracking that. Nothing added to the commit but untracked file present. Use git add to track. Now if I want git to track it, so git add. Now I want all the files to be tracked by git. So git add and dot means whatever the files in the current directory, hello world demo, I'm asking git to track them all. But if I have selected any one file, like hello world demo.solution, so git will track only that file. So git add dot will add all the files to the staging area. Now, as of now, you can see untracked files are showing in red color. Once I add, what warning it is giving? Can you see all the files now? Whatever inside there, it has tracked each and everything now. And everything is shown in green. Everything is showing in green. But still it is showing that no commits yet. I have not committed anything. So here everything is moved to the staging area here. Now Git is aware about all the files, but I have not committed to the local repo. So there is a command git commit -m and the message. So this is the command. See, all the files other than what is mentioned in git ignore will be tracked and staged. Now, if I run this git commit, so it will now commit. Now, what it is telling? Please tell me who you are. Since I have not added here my credentials, Okay, so what I'll do, go to the credential manager here. Can you see this credential manager? Go to the credential manager. As of now, there are no passwords, nothing. So credentials, backup credential, Windows, certificate base, no web credentials. Manage your credentials. Here you can add your credentials. Okay. Should have shown a Git over here. This local computer. Add a certificate, add generic credential, internet or network. Make sure.
Okay, sir, I need to drop off. I'll view the recording for the rest of the
Sure,
class.
sure. No worries.
Thank you, sir.
Should not ask for the local. For local, it does not ask. Why it is asking? Ask for the remote. Author identity.
Abhishek, hello.
Mhm.
Abhishek, actually, we need to modify in a file when we're going to like further commit. So can you please edit in any file? Then after we can only commit it. Like in program.cs, you can.
Yes,
For
yes,
example, in
yes.
controller,
Mhm.
go to controllers,
Yes.
controllers, yes, here. And you just write one code here, comment, just write inside a like index method, yes, inside the index here below, line number 16.
Okay.
line number 16, go to
1
16
Yeah.
here.
Mhm.
Inside curly brace, yeah. Write a comment,
Mhm.
write a double slash.
Yes.
Yes, write anything.
Okay.
ABC. Anything you can just type.
Or you can add something in view also. View double.
Yes. Yeah. Anywhere. Yes. Right. Yeah. In a view also you can.
Some string you can write higher.
I want to modify something.
Yes.
Just so like you can also do inside a view also. Here also you can add. Yeah.
Mhm.
Just save.
Same you can copy paste in view.
Yes.
Double
Yeah. Same copy paste. Yes. Inside view.
remove that slashes.
Which one?
Need to something you can write in view as a string. Double
No. It's fine. You can same copy into view.
Okay.
Go to view.
Yes.
Control S.
Inside view. Home. Yes. Index. Yes. Here you just edit the welcome.
Yes.
Welcome to DevOps. Yes. Yes. Something.
That string will be passed here and it will come in instead of welcome if we pass
Yeah.
that.
Yes. Control S. After that, you can go to there. Yeah. For commit. In CMD, go to CMD. Here.
I think again.
Yeah, you need to add. Yes, Abhishek. Here one thing you need to add here: email ID and the username, which command above command us earlier.
Yes.
You need to add that. Just a credential actually. We need to add that credential actually. That asking like who are you? That so just we need to validate like user. Yes, git add. Yes. Now status. Yes. After that you commit. Git commit. Yes, sir. You need to add this one. Below run,
Yes.
git config,
Yes.
global mail ID and your name. So actually we need to, yes. Dash, yeah. User.email, then email ID is your email ID.
You have to give that one using which we created the project.
Yes. That mail ID only.
Yeah.
Your mail ID, yes. Here.
This one.
Yes.
Double quotes, I guess.
Double quotes. Yes, inside double quotes. Yes. I think without double quotes it will take. Yeah. You can check. I think without double quotes it should also work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now git config.
Name. After that name.
Yes. User.name.
Yes. Yeah, now it's
Okay. Now
committed.
it's committed to the
Yes, sir.
master branch.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Yes.
Now,
It's committed.
and now if you can see here master, and this is what the commit ID. Now, why this commit ID is important? Because if you want to track all the commits, track the logs from the Git, then you can track it out with the commit ID.
Right. Yes.
Okay. And this is a root commit. And
Yes.
master, what is this master? This master is nothing but the branch. So if you git branch, if you see that git branch, what is the current branch? Master.
Master. Yeah.
Okay. So whatever is there, everything is there inside the master as of now. We'll be discussing what is the branching strategy. Okay. After this, as of now, but we are having only one branch, master. Okay. Now also either you can change that name, you can change it to main branch, or if you want to change, you can change it to production, whatever name you want, you can change it. Okay, from master you can change it. So
Yes.
whatever is here, this is in your local. Okay, now if you go to the projects, now can you see the change in the size of .git local repo?
Yes, from KB it has become MB.
Yeah, it was in some 26 KB. Now it is 3.24 MB. Means,
Right.
yeah, everything we have in the project we have added in .git. See, index. Commit, edit, message. You will find all the messages, commit message here in this file. So this is how we added in the local repo. Now we'll be pushing same thing. Now if you see the git status, git log, it will show you the logs and all.
Abhishek, please add that username, email and username statement also.
Yes, I'll add it.
What is the functionality of Git configuration, right? Git config. We have never used this command.
Yeah. Git config, like we have to give the we have to add our user email or username so that the system should know who is committing. So it is just for get in the log, it will show you like who has committed the code. So it will show the name and the user email. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. Still, we have not pushed this to the remote repo. For the remote repo, it will be needing the credentials of that remote repo as well. So for that purpose, you can add it here in the credential manager. So it will directly read out from the credential manager. So if you do a git status over here, right? Git status. So it is saying on branch master, nothing to commit as of now. Working tree clean. Now what is this working tree? So this working tree will show whatever is committed, whatever is not. So as of now, everything is committed and it is showing you in white. If there is some working file which is not added or committed, it should, you can see that file in red. If there is a file which is added but not committed, you will see it in green. But if everything is committed, you will see everything in white color here in the console. So this is as of now on branch master. Okay. Now, if I also see git log, it will show me the log. So commit. Now this is whole commit ID. There it was showing, I think last 6 to 7 digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Here it is showing you whole commit ID. Okay. Sorry. First 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 digits. Okay. So here it is showing you whole commit ID in the log. Head means where we are working on the master branch, where we are present as of now in the master branch. Now author, see Abhishek Tiwari, and this email ID is the author. So that's why it is asking for that authentication. Okay. Date when it is committed, with the date and the time. And what is the commit message? Initial commit. So in the
Okay.
log, yeah,
Either we have add the username and use mail ID in the CS file or in the credential manager, right?
yeah, we have added to the configuration file. Okay, in the system.
Configuration.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, with git config command.
Okay.
Okay. So whenever you have the log, you can have the author who committed it. Okay, with the name and the user email. So it will be easier to track. Now git status, git log, we have seen git branch as of now. So git branch is as of now, it's a master branch. So it will show you the master current branch. Now, if I want to change the name, like if I want to change master to main, you can change it. You can change it to any name. You can name it production as well. Prod, production, whatever you want. So git branch hyphen m main. So it will change the name to the main. Now, if you do git branch, the name of the master has changed to the main. Prod.
M means modify, right?
Yes. So you can change. Again, you can change it to main. So see git status, it is changed to.
It's just renaming, no?
Yeah, it is just renaming that local repo branch inside the local repo. So as of now, we are seeing one repo only, one branch only. Okay. Now git remote add origin to this. Now we'll be adding this to, as of now, if you see, there is nothing, no file inside this demo project is empty. Add some code. So push an existing repository means my local repository from the command line using this command. We've copied this command here, git remote add. So what we'll do, we'll take this. Okay. So now I think we have to add to the credential manager. We'll ask. Now if I'll run git push, can you see git credential manager is opening now. What it is asking for. Hello.
Yes, Abhishek.
Yeah, actually, I was disconnected due to power cut. Just a second. Let me show. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, Akshay.
Okay.
This pop-up came after
Hello.
this pop-up came after you have tried to push, no? Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Abhishek.
Yeah, this pop-up came afterwards. Like I use git push hyphen u origin all.
No, it automatically popped up.
I want to get Wait, let me run it again. Actually, there was a disconnection, so
Class completed, huh?
no, wait, still, yeah. Can you see now? Use another account.
Paste. You
Yes.
have copied that.
No, wait. Let me copy from there again. Now, can you see? Counting objects, compressing. Branch means set up to track origin main. Let's go there. Let's see branches. Can you see this main branch?
Yes.
Can you see the code? It's pushed over here. All the files are there. Even if we would have written given dot get ignore inside this, get ignore would not have been pushed here, okay, or tracked. So now you have all the code here in your main branch. As of now, there is only one branch. You can create branches from here also, but we'll be seeing everything from the console only as of now. Okay. How to work from the console, that's why we will be seeing everything. Now after this, like there are two things: git push origin main. Now whenever you will be pushing anything to the remote, you will be using this command instead of all these things. Git push origin main, that's it. And if there is any other branch, you will use that branch. Git push origin and the branch name. If you're pulling from the remote, git pull origin main, you can pull it. Now, if you're working on the same file, editing the same file, then you will git commit -m, then the message and -a. Means you are adding and committing at the same time. But this you can do only when you are working on some existing file. If we are modifying any existing file, it is not possible with the new files. If you create a new file, then both the things are not possible at one go. It is only possible with existing files. So we have created a project, we have initialized a Git repository, we have added the files to the Git repository, then we have committed it to the local repo, and then we have pushed that code to our remote repository. We have seen till here. Tomorrow we'll be seeing the branching strategy. Okay. All the branching strategy we'll see. We'll create a branch. We'll make changes to some files. Okay. All these things we'll be doing. So we'll be stopping here.
Abhishek, in that Visual Studio, can you open that?
Yes.
Here there is below add to source control or something is there, right? Right.
This one. Yes.
Can you click on that?
Yes.
Just wanted to check. Okay.
It is doing this Git. Okay.
Usually in this we have in this window menu section is there, right? Top. There you have a source control, some source control or some option also there.
Windows menu or which menu?
Menu, top main menu. File, edit, view.
Okay. Yeah.
There I'm not sure. Window will come, not this one. You'll get Solution Explorer, all those things in one place. Where is that?
Okay. 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 I think maybe.
And there is a Git menu also, right? That is
Git.
called.
Inside view.
Connect, here
Inside view
also you
menu.
can connect it actually. I used to, I mean, do it directly like this.
Okay.
Mm.
No,
You
it
can
gives
you
project.
you go inside a view menu. Yes, here.
Here,
Source control. Yeah.
here you have source controller, team
Mhm.
explorer, I guess.
Team Explorer.
Team Explorer.
Yes, right. Inside Team Explorer.
You click on this.
Mhm.
Click. Yeah.
Then what you have here is here manage connections.
Yeah. Okay.
Manage connections, no? Connect to your project. So here,
We need to configure. Yeah.
here you can sign in and you have to enter that URL here.
Yeah.
So you have given your email ID and password, right? So it has taken you to directly this particular screen.
Mhm. Okay.
So this Team Explorer, we used to connect earlier with that TFS,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Team
Yeah.
Foundation, and now it is like Git or Bitbucket. We can connect using this particular thing.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Usually we work on so many files, no? So
Mhm.
while committing, it becomes very hard to do it with the console.
Yes.
But
So
that I
as
didn't.
we are just doing it for starting purpose only. Okay.
No,
No
that was
one
good.
does that.
No, that was good knowledge. I didn't knew that. So we were
Mhm.
doing like this shortcut.
Yes. Okay. Since you have to work on many files, then this is preferable. Okay. But for starting, just to know the all the basics. That's what. Nothing
No,
else.
that is important. That
Yeah.
is important.
Yeah.
Git ignore also, I think last time when I was working on project, we should not add that bin that
Can you
unnecessary
see
EXP
now?
or the file.
It is already added now.
Yes.
Git https azure.com Abhishek trainings, and it is added the credentials now. Okay. Now it will not ask since it is added in the credential manager. You can directly add from here as well. Okay.
Mm.